Ian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So, fucking mum's leaving tomorrow. It's been how would you describe it? I don't even know how you would describe it. I look at mum now and I'm like, how much of her is in me? Well, I know it's 50%, but when someone annoys you, and to be honest with you, she hasn't annoyed me as much as normal, but I think that just has something to do with the ayahuasca. However, she is possibly the least self-aware human being I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't think anyone can compare to her, and I was looking at her smoking a dart in the children's playground, and I'm like... I'm not even joking there. Looking after my daughter and just fucking hardcore 1980s darting amongst all the fucking half-queer parents at the park. And usually I'd get infuriated at something like that, but instead I stood back and just watched. I was like, she just has no fucking idea she's even doing anything slightly wrong. And not that it's even that wrong, but it is. Like, there's children, she's surrounded by children, and she's darting in the middle of it. But I was watching her and I was asking myself, I was like, how much am I like that? Am I that unaware? Am I doing the same things and I just don't know? Is my lack of self-awareness blinding me? Is that a blind spot? Am I doing these things? And I don't know. I can't tell until someone says it to you, and then you're just like, fuck you. That's what the self-aware do. That's what the unself-aware do. You'll point something out to them and they'll be like, fuck you. This is what I do. You've got the problem. Mum is truly a truly unique individual. She is a one of one. Never considered for mass production. She honestly believes she's just been kicking goals her whole life. It's just been an unbroken run of fucking successes for her. I'm serious as well. If you asked her about life's up and downs, and she would be like, downs? What downs? And then you look at her and you'll be like, hasn't the whole thing been down? It looks like there's been very few ups. She's like, what are you talking about? It's been amazing. So we've got into a couple of arguments and I've had to pull back a little bit because it's just the drinking. She's unbearable when she starts drinking. First night she turns up and I went straight to my son's soccer game and she was there as well. And she was smoking a dart there too. And she's got an emphysema fucking cough as well, which isn't good. She's just coughing all the fucking time and she can barely fucking walk 20 meters without stopping and fucking hunched over. But that doesn't stop the darting. It's probably gone too far now anyway to stop darting. And she'll never change as well. That's another amazing thing. You have to give her some credit because I've never met anyone so unwilling to change in any way. Absolutely not open for business for any change whatsoever. The universe has just been smashing her across the head for like 3 decades. Just saying, take a look, take stock, readjust, choose a different path, and she just ignores it. She's like, another success, another win. Stroke, oh, what a winner. Still hasn't got me. I think she deserves a little bit of credit for that because after a certain point, to remain unchanged is a monumental task because it just gets harder and harder every single day to stay on the same path when the entire laws of the universe are trying to rip you off the path. Do you know how hard that is? That's why everyone eventually hits rock bottom and changes and something happens. Not my mum. She just powers on forward. At least when she gets to, let's say, the afterlife, she can honestly say, I was who I was, and nothing changed that. And I don't know if you get credit for that. I don't know if you get points for defying the universe, but that's at least something she can present when they bring up the list of offenses. Anyway, I get to the fucking soccer ground. She's smoking a dart and she starts cheering my son's training. And I'm like, I bet you she's drunk or she's had a few drinks. And then she starts speaking to the parents. And I'm like, fucking, what a liability. What an absolute liability. But she seemed to manage it okay. Anyway, we get home. She opens her suitcase. A red wine bottle in a brown paper bag is the first thing that comes out, and it had leaked a little bit because she hadn't put the top back on, because it must have been just a panic just to scull some red wine out of the bottle, out of a brown paper bag. As soon as she arrived, she's like, I got that when I got here. I'm like, yeah, that's the fucking problem. Anyway, I didn't mention anything. I kept that low profile. The next night, I get home from work and my wife goes out and mum's just having red wine. She's bought a bottle of red wine and that's fine. 40 minutes later, she's 3/4 of the way through the red wine and I'm like, she's drinking this so fucking fast. Obviously, she's progressively getting more and more annoying. And I'm like, she's going to nail this in under an hour and then she's going to look for more. She's not going to go to sleep. So I said something and that triggered something and then more was said and then it escalated and we're having an argument now and she's not making sense or listening. And I'm like, I was trying to say this, you're not listening. And she's off on some fucking tangent. And then I said this, see, this is what happens when you fucking drink, which is annoying to a drinker, which is very annoying. I know I've had it said to me a million times. And she replied with something even more profoundly annoying. The alcohol has nothing to do with it. That line is the most fucking jarringly annoying thing. Oh, doesn't it? You reckon 99% of girls who play soccer become lesbians because they play soccer? That's what one of the arguments got. I don't know how we got there. But she's like, look at all the lesbians playing soccer and look at all the lesbians playing rugby. I'm like, yeah, of course lesbians are playing fucking rugby. It's all bull dykes. That's just part of it. You think a skinny hot fucking 10 is playing front row for fucking the Sydney Roosters rugby league team? No. The lesbian who beats her missus... The bull dyke with the fucking shaved head is the front rower for the Sydney Roosters. But there was more to it than that. She was saying some shit about... Anyway, it's a long story. But she was like, my conscience is clean. My conscience is clean. I have... And her conscience is clean, which is insane. If you ask her if she's ever done anything wrong, ever, you would be hard-pressed getting anything out of her. This is what I mean. She's one of one. Absolutely no self-awareness. It's astounding. You have to really just admire it in a strange way. But she's leaving tomorrow. It's been a pretty nice trip. And I can tell you what's going to happen as soon as she gets back to Port Macquarie. She's going to get fucking hammered and then start sending me nasty fucking messages. Just like for a full day. Just, you fucking... It's classy. Textbook. Anyway, I'm back to work tomorrow and I'm fired up. So I got to get to sleep fucking early. So that'll do for today, and I'll see ya the fuck later.